Welcome to Be Continued. We're your host. I'm Christian.
And I'm Caleb.
And what a weekend of football. I mean, just when you thought divisional round weekend couldn't have been better and the conference championships weren't going to be as good, boom. And I will say, I know somebody here was nervous more than they've been in a long time. But how do you feel?
Well, first of all, those games were not as good as...
Oh, I'm not saying they're as good.
No.
I'm just saying they're better than Wild Card Weekend still.
I'm feeling pretty good. And, I don't want to give away, my Super Bowl picks, because that's going to be a video that everybody surely is wondering which way I'm going to go as a Ram fan. Who am I going to pick? But I got to be honest here, could things have happened more perfectly for the Rams? Ooh. I was thinking, honestly, I predicted a long time ago that the Chiefs were going to be in the Super Bowl, and I just figured they were going to win it. I thought it was going to be Chiefs Packers in the Super Bowl, and the Chiefs were going to win. And then I was like, maybe the Rams will get by the 49ers, but I still don't think they're going to beat the Chiefs. And then now, the Chiefs just self-destructed in the second half, and I'm like, okay, When the Rams were in the Super Bowl a couple years ago, in the worst Super Bowl ever against the Patriots, I didn't think that they were really going to win, just because it's Bill Belichick, Patriots defense, yada yada yada.
Tom Brady.
And there's no Cooper Kupp, and Jared Goff just wasn't looking the same in that stretch run.
I feel bad for Cooper Kupp, by the way.
But the division round or this conference round couldn't have gone better for the Rams. Well, actually, it could have. Tyler Higbee could have not gotten hurt, but other than that,
he's going to play probably.
Well, yeah, he's going to try to play on a sprained MCL, which is kind of... I saw something kind of weird, like Uzoma, or whatever his name is.
Yeah, both of the
they
teams
got the exact same injury.
Yeah.
Those tight ends. So it'd be interesting to see if they both play. Maybe they will. Hopefully Uzoma doesn't, because the Rams got Troy Reader in the middle. So
best linebacker in football right there, baby.
Jeez, that's
UD, go Hens.
That's the worst player I've ever seen.
No.
Yeah, I mean it. Debo carried him 10 yards. He's a middle linebacker, dude. Come on.
He's too small.
You got the 49ers linebackers that are trying to murder people, even 10 seconds after the whistle, or guys that have already been tackled, they're trying to murder somebody. And then Troy Reader is just getting a piggyback.
What was that play with Odell Beckham? Odell Beckham had caught the ball. He was clearly down, and the guy just head dives at him.
The 49ers the entire game were playing until after the whistle. And that's just how they're a tough, hard-nosed team. No doubt about it. But, they got caught that time being stupid.
They didn't get caught with Fred Warner or Matthew Stafford.
Yeah, that was one of the worst cheap shots I've ever seen.
I was like, I thought we protected quarterbacks.
Cheap shot, in college he's probably ejected right there. And honestly, I think the NFL should make plays like that reviewable.
Yeah.
If there's no room for cheap shots. Hard-nosed football, I get. If you got a safety coming in and just wreck somebody, but the receiver ducks down to absorb the hit, I get those things happen. Those are accidental. But if you are a quarterback and you're just completely out of the play and somebody just nails you in the back of the head, come on. There's no doubt about it.
All right, so before I get into my takeaways, I will state this. I did go back and I watched the Rams and Niners game. And I will say this. Sean McVay is getting way too much hate. Way too much hate. Because yes, he ran out of timeouts. But when you actually look at that game, he called pretty much a flawless game offensively.
Yeah, he was just using timeouts and challenges like a drunken sailor. The dude was just...
Well, the reason... I don't blame him for the one that he lost the last one on, because he was looking at this. He was like, if that really is a fumble, I can get the ball to 50.
Yeah, I think he was just a little too amped up, and he does do that. He gets a little... He's got an edge, and sometimes...
I like it about him, though.
Sometimes when you've got an edge, you got to rein it in a little bit. He's got that... the hold me back coach. But, yeah.
But I will say this, that game showed, and there's this debate going on TV, is Stafford still with their trade? And people are like, wait, not yet. And I'm like, whoa, what? Did you watch that game on Sunday? Yes, he almost threw that pick to Tart. That pick in the red zone, did he throw it a little behind? Yes. But when he absolutely needed to make a play at the best times, was he making those plays or what?
Yeah, and the other thing, you talk about the Tart dropped, it looked like the pass was to Tart. Honestly, I don't know what he was even thinking. And
is he hurt?
They were like, is he hurt? He threw that ball 65 yards in the air.
Yeah, but
I just don't know who he was throwing to. Was he supposed to throw it 80 yards? What was... Because he,
because he's been... He's usually been able to throw it as far as he usually wants. Something looks off, upper body-wise.
No, I just think that was a dumb throw. Maybe it slipped. Who knows? And he is, playing through some injuries. He said that. But... But you also got to look at, like, there was the Tart drop, yeah. But Jalen Ramsey dropped a couple interceptions in the game. And you also had, well, yeah, Troy Reader was basically playing for the 49ers. But you also had Cooper Kupp that dropped a huge play. And then Skowronek had a touchdown in the end zone and just hit him in the hand. So, like, those things happen. Don't make the biggest deal about Tart, because if the Rams had made their plays, it wouldn't even made a difference. Like, if Skowronek had caught that ball in the end zone, even if he throws the interception, it doesn't really matter.
With that drop, though, I will say...
And you got Pro Bowler Matt Gay, who missed a kick that he's, like, made all year.
He's hurt.
I think there's something up. Because it didn't look like that kick was even going to make it if it was online.
No, it was definitely a little short.
Yeah, I'm wondering what's up.
But with that drop that you're bringing up in the end zone, people are trying to make it seem like it was an easy catch.
No, it was definitely a difficult catch.
Because his route, he was running a skinny post. Stafford threw more of a long post, so he had to completely change his route upfield, which for a receiver, that's impossibly hard. And then he had to try and find it over his shoulder.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a difficult catch, but it did also hit him in the hands.
Hey. Wes Walker had a similar thing happen to him in the Super Bowl versus the Giants second time. You know what I'm talking about, that play. But another takeaway I had from this game was Kyle Shanahan. Just run the ball. And I understand that the Rams were playing good run defense, but if you actually look at it, in the fourth quarter, you were starting to get something going on the ground with Deebo Samuel.
Yeah, well, Deebo had a couple big plays, but other than that, they got nothing.
No. In the fourth quarter, he was getting about 4.5 yards a carry.
They ran for a total of 50 yards in the game.
Yes, a lot of those came in the fourth quarter. They were starting to get, but because they were up, then he started trusting, wait a minute, Jimmy Garoppolo. And I understand, am I a little harsh on Jimmy Garoppolo? Yes, I will admit that. But I will also say this. He had George Kittle wide open on the first drive. Should have been right here. For an NFL quarterback being paid $23 million, that ball needs to be right here. Somehow it hits right where that tripod
is. That's not a big deal. Like, that happens all the time.
Tom Brady wouldn't miss that throw. Matthew Stafford wouldn't miss that throw.
They miss throws. It's professional quarterbacks. They're not perfect. Nobody's perfect. In fact, the only quarterback in this postseason that I think was perfect was Josh Allen. I can't point to anything where he did wrong. I think of all the quarterbacks, he played the best. But that's not a topic of the day. People are hating on Jimmy G, and it's just not fair. He played a great game until when it mattered the most.
Do you know what's the most hilarious thing? So that interception, right? Somebody put out there, wow, just when you didn't think Carson Wentz moment would come up in the postseason. I'm like, we already had that moment happen week wild card when Kyler Murray tried his impersonation.
And I was thinking the same thing, and it's like, man, just take the sack there. But when you think about if they take that sack, it's 4th and 20 with a minute left to go, and you got to take your time out there too. It's like if he takes that sack, it's over. Yeah, but also it hit Hasty in the hands. He hit his guy in the hands.
Yeah. It's a hard catch because you're jumping.
It's a difficult catch, but you hit the guy in the hands.
It's a running back.
Yeah, well, he's supposed to be the receiving option.
But I will say this though, would you rather have a 4th and 20 and a percentage of a chance, or a pick and no chance?
Well, I would have rather my running back just caught the ball.
Even though on that 4th and 20, I would have put Lance in there, just for one reason. No.
You just love Trey Lance.
I do, but
You're gonna hate when Trey Lance turns into Colin Kaepernick 2.0. That's what he's gonna be.
Colin Kaepernick would have won that game yesterday.
No way. No, he wouldn't have.
In his prime, Kaepernick wins that game.
How did he do in the Super Bowl?
He scored 31 points.
How did he do?
They lost by 3.
Yeah, they lost. Okay.
Due to a pass interference by Ray Lewis.
Good enough to lose.
Oh, my goodness. Anyway.
Outplayed by Joe Flacco.
Congratulations on your Super Bowl.
Playoff legend.
Mr. John Wolford. Is that the jersey you're wearing there?
This is Kurt Warner. Hall of Fame quarterback Kurt Warner. American underdog Kurt Warner. The stud, the legend himself.
What a great movie. Comedy right there. Anyway, we're gonna move on to our next game here.
I didn't even give any takeaways. You're just like taking the whole thing to yourself. Can I get some takeaways? This is the Rams. This is my game. You're just you just want the whole thing. I'm here, guys. I'm a person, not just a piece of meat. So, my takeaway from this is, man, I was nervous watching this game because I thought it was over. When the Rams went down by 10, I thought this thing was over. I thought here we go again. Sean McVay's about to lose the 7th in a row.
I told you. And
then the Rams came back. They won that game, and that's what gave me hope that, you know what? I think they're going to win the Super Bowl. Because I think they've been the most talented roster in the NFL all year anyway. They've got a quarterback that's a top 3 talent quarterback in the league. And people, even Stafford haters, have to acknowledge his arm talent is second to none.
Yeah.
He's a stud. He just makes dumb decisions sometimes. And the Rams' offensive line is good. Defensive line is probably the best in the league. They've got the best defensive player in football, maybe the best defensive player of all time. I think he's still got to do it for a few more years, and then he's going to have that in the bag. Personally,
all he has to do is win a Super Bowl. If he wins a Super Bowl and a Super Bowl MVP, he'll be in there.
Yeah, and I think they're playing for there's just something different about this Rams team that I think like they're going to be tough to beat. And like the way they beat the 49ers of all teams. Like I know it seems like they dodged the Packers because the Packers were the number 1 seed and they didn't have to go to Lambeau, but they basically played a road game. Like that stadium's like 60s.
You guys tried to stop making
49ers.
I told you it wasn't going to work.
Yeah, well, there was nothing they could have done to do anything about it because they would have had home field advantage. They were in St. Louis. But anyway, and this is a St. Louis Rams jersey, by the way. St. Louis legend, Kurt Warner.
You can always tell by the Reebok symbol.
That's right. This was back when like jerseys looked cooler. No, just kidding. I can't even say that. But yeah, that was the Rams.
Back when your guys' jerseys looked cooler. Let's clarify that.
I don't know. I like them now.
Yeah, Mr. Four Horns.
I like it.
Anyway, let's move on to the game that I think was very overrated, but I'll give my takeaways first on this one because there's 3 major takeaways. My first major takeaway was, Caleb, I got to admit, you were right. You were right that the overtime rules don't need to change.
I told you.
This game proved it.
All you got to do is play defense.
All you have to do is play defense.
Make a stop. Make one stop.
But!
Why are you yelling at us?
But! I was wrong last week for even saying I was wrong. I was right. I told you something was wrong about this Chiefs team, and you said I was wrong. Second half, Pat Mahomes was not great. He wasn't good. He wasn't even average. I would even argue he wasn't even below average. He was terrible. Terrible. And you know what? I'll say this. For all the hating we do, we say, oh, Herbert's the next guy. Allen's the next guy. Lamar Jackson's this next guy. Because Josh Allen and all these great quarterbacks, right? And we're just like, oh, look at them. They're like nothing we've ever seen. Joe Burrow reminds me so much of quarterbacks we're used to seeing. And people want to say, oh, you got to go through Mahomes, would have to go through Allen, and like they're going to go through each other. It's gonna go through Joe Burrow.
No, that's...
Burrow has that Brady quality.
The Bengals are like the team of destiny this year. They've just like, honestly, they got a cakewalk until this game. Like, the Titans had a legit defense, but their offense was terrible. We all knew it. Their offense was Derrick Henry, and then he got hurt. And then somehow they still found a way to back into the 1 seed. The Raiders are a team that, like, doesn't even deserve to be in the playoffs. No. Let's be real. They shouldn't have been there either. Like, they're not very good. They should have been the last seed, but they had the extra seed for the Steelers to come and get wiped out.
Thank you, Colts.
And then, like, my response to that, like, you can talk about Pat Mahomes having a bad second half. You know who looks bad to me in that second half?
Don't say Andy Reid.
Andy Reid.
No, it's
he
not his.
Like Philadelphia Eagles. Andy Reid.
No,
you had the best team
play
by far. No way. Look, Andy Reid is the most overrated coach in the history of the game. He's had all kinds of success, but he's had all kinds of talent his entire career. He has never taken a team full of scrubs and done anything. He has taken stacked rosters and taken them like just to the precipice of being good. He is the Aaron Boone of the NFL. Aaron Boone, the Yankees manager that gets all this credit for winning all these games when he's got the best roster in the Major League Baseball, and like they win all kinds of regular season games and do nothing when it matters. That is who Andy Reid is. Andy Reid, like, we thought he had erased that when he won the Super Bowl, but no, he's back. Andy Reid needs to shoulder at least 50% of that blame. Patrick Mahomes is like, Joe Burrow's legit, no doubt about it. But like, that team just they stopped playing. They stopped playing football in the second half. They turned into Kyle Shanahan. Like, what the heck are you doing? Where was Jerick McKinnon in the second half? The dude's been like the best player on their offense.
Mahomes wouldn't hit him.
Oh,
look at the film.
Mahomes.
Look at the film. He's wide open right in the check down. He's waiting for it. Mahomes would start forcing stuff down the field. Yeah, they saw that guy over there, number 9, was on his way back.
No.
Joe Burrow is that guy.
That's why you need a coach like a Sean McVay.
Oh my.
To calm him down, be like, look, man, hit your check down. Hit your open guys. Keep running the same offense you've been running that they can't stop. You've figured out that throwing the ball down the field doesn't work. People have figured out how to defend that. Take what you get. Take what the defense gives you. They stopped doing it. They lost.
Do you mean the same Sean McVay that couldn't do the same thing for Jared Goff?
Come on. Jared Goff is not in the same like stratosphere as Patrick Mahomes.
As I'll say this, ready?
Andy Reid needs some blame.
Pat Mahomes, top 2 talent maybe of all time. We can agree on that, right?
I think by the time he's done, we're going to look at him as the GOAT.
No.
I do.
No, and here's
He's
why.
still got plenty of chance to win.
Yes, he has all the
all
talent.
kinds.
Right? He has all the talent, right? He has all the talent. But as you said, Andy Reid, he's not great in good games, but he was actually good on Sunday. Mahomes, though, he gets tight sometimes. Like if you look at him, he gets very nervous and anxious, and he just gets like very tense. Joe Burrow doesn't. And I know you're like, oh, come on, man. You're overreacting. At the beginning of the year, I heard this take yesterday, and I 100% agree with it. If Joe Burrow wins a Super Bowl with the Cincinnati Bengals this year, it will be more impressive than the ring LeBron James won in Cleveland.
That's laughable. That's laughable. That's a joke.
All right, let me ask you this. What'd you see the Bengals record as before the season started? Where did you think they'd rank in the AFC North?
Probably, I would say they probably would have been a middle-range AFC team. Probably like a 9-7, 7-9, because they can't go 8-8.
7-9, 7-10.
That's what I would have.
So you didn't see them making the playoffs? Before the season,
maybe sneaking in the backside.
You didn't see them winning their division?
No, I didn't.
No, we didn't see them beating the Chiefs, did we?
We also didn't see them playing against a Cleveland Browns team that was hurt the entire season. They were never fully healthy the entire way. The Ravens lost Lamar Jackson, and they were built completely around Lamar Jackson.
Whoa. What happened in Week 5 when the Bengals and Ravens played with a healthy Lamar Jackson?
The Bengals blew him out. But I'm not talking about the head-to-head. The Ravens would have won more. The Ravens would have won that division.
They were too hurt.
Jackson.
The Ravens were too hurt to win that division.
The Ravens would have won the division if Lamar Jackson had been healthy. They would have.
Oh, my goodness.
They would have won the division.
Oh, my goodness. No, Caleb. You're not giving, and I can guarantee this next year, Baker Mayfield is not going to win the AFC North as long as we live for the rest. Unless Joe Burrow or Lamar Jackson get hurt again, you will never see Baker Mayfield win that division. Ever. Actually, I'll be shocked if Baker's even the quarterback next year. He shouldn't.
It won't be the first time you've been wrong.
About Baker, I've been spot on.
No, about anything sports, anything football.
All right, who has a better postseason record as we speak?
Nobody cares about that. Nobody cares who's picking winners and losers. We're not gambling here. These are just guesses.
Well, you're not gambling. I might be. I can be getting rich off these games.
Call 1-800-GAMBLERS. Get help. Whatever the number is. Those are always funny, by the way. Those like they're advertising gambling, and then the last second is like, if you have a gambling problem, call.
Like, what is this?
You're tempting them to go gamble, would say, but
if you're addicted to gambling.
Yeah. So anyway, yeah.
But it's just gonna be some. And
look, Joe Burrow's impressive. Like as much as what he's done is impressive. What the Bengals have done is impressive. They've also had I think the Kansas City win is their first legitimate win of the whole postseason.
But yet you picked against them in every single playoff game.
I did. Because they were not the better team in any of those games.
And they won because of their quarterback.
No, they won because of it takes 22 guys. It takes a full roster to win that game.
Oh my god. I'm gonna start calling. You know what? You hate Joe Burrow just as much as Skip Bayless hates OBJ.
I like Joe Burrow.
No.
I like Joe Burrow.
No. And Skip Bayless says he likes LeBron James. This is a very similar thing. Seth, if you're watching this, I apologize for my colleague's ignorance.
So you're saying that Joe Burrow, even though he has like a top 5 set of weapons around him, is
who's
the
his
only
offensive
reason.
Line? He's getting sacked like 10 times a game and they're winning games.
Patrick Mahomes had like the worst offensive line in the league last year. He was in the Super Bowl.
No, he only had a bad offensive line in the Super Bowl. They had a top 5 line in the league up into the Super Bowl because they lost Eric Fisher and Mitchell Schwartz.
We're going to see how your boy Joe Burrow does against my man Von Miller.
We haven't even done our picks.
Against my boy Leonard Floyd. Against my man Aaron Donald. It's Greg Gaines. Maybe Sebastian Joseph Day even. Sean Robinson. Joe Burrow's going to be having nightmares.
What about Troy Reader, baby?
Troy Reader's going to be watching, holding a clipboard.
He's going to be covering Joe Mixon every single play, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, we can't wait till the Super Bowl, as you can tell. It's getting a little anxious.
Yeah.
And
we should stop having this 2-week break where we have the Pro Bowl. Just jump right to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, why don't we do what we used to do, where the Pro Bowl would be played afterwards, and like players that play in the Super Bowl could also play in the Pro Bowl.
Yeah. Or we could just not have the Pro Bowl.
I'll agree.
Nobody cares.
Or if they're going to do this, can we at least get like an all-star game? Like
Just do the skill competition. That's all you need.
The Pro Bowl used to be competitive, though, until the one guy on the Patriots tore his ACL. And ruined his career, never played again. Anyway, thank you for watching this episode of the podcast, and until next time.
You still never gave me a chance to talk.
Oh my goodness!
You took the whole thing to yourself.
Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry. We're gonna go ahead. Go. Yeah.
This man is just trying to monopolize time, trying to pretend that he's the only man who exists. It's okay, Christian, your world. We're just living in it.
At least you know.
So we're back after that break, after that commercial break. But what I think about this game, and I only have one takeaway. People are going to call that a great game. They're going to call that a great performance or whatever you want to call it. Here's what it was. It was one half of terrible football from the Bengals, and then one half of terrible football from the Chiefs. That's what it was. It was not like, don't compare it to a game like last week's Bills-Chiefs. That was great football, wire to wire. Like that was, it was bad defense, but like it was good, like good all around. Like you had to win that game. It looked like nobody wanted to win. Like it looked like the Bengals didn't want to win the first half. Then it looked like the Chiefs didn't want to win the second half. And how about how crazy is it that this game came down to if they had just kicked the field goal to end the half or thrown that ball away or thrown it in the... Like, it could have done literally anything else. and the Chiefs win that game. And I do think they would have won that game.
They would have won.
But they just, they let momentum slip, and then it looked like they just, panicked the whole second half.
Do you know what...
a bad game.
Do you want to know what game this reminded me a lot of that people also want to say is, one of the greatest games of all time?
The Falcons-Patriots game? The 28-3 game?
I'm tired of people...
Yeah.
Well, when people say, you got to rewatch that game, it's such a great game, I'm like, no, it wasn't. It was a blowout and then a blowout.
Yeah. You had the Falcons, they could not stop. The Patriots could not stop the Falcons. And then the Falcons just stopped playing offense. And if there's a lesson that can be taken from any of these things...
Just run the goddamn ball!
No, don't change anything. Don't change your offense till you're up 50-0. Then you can do whatever the heck you want. But do not change anything. If something is working, do not change it. I don't get... people just outsmart themselves in these big games.
Kyle Shanahan.
Yeah, Kyle Shanahan.
Did you see... You sent me that stat. That's hilarious. He's given up the biggest lead in the Super Bowl, a fourth quarter of a Super Bowl, and then the fourth quarter of the NFC Championship game.
Yeah, it's
only
crazy.
Kyle Shanahan.
Yeah, but yeah, that was a game that was just it wasn't that great of a game, to be honest.
Well, now we can officially say, until next time.
Yeah, now we're actually done. To be continued.
Thank you for watching.